Welcome to another edition of Youth Inc. I am your host, Latoya Jones. I recently interviewed Omari Nisbett, who was wrongfully incarcerated for more than 3 years. Stay with us and we will share his story with you. So Omari, tell me about yourself. From childhood, what was life like?
As a child, I think my life wasn't a bad experience at all. My parents worked very hard to provide everything for me, make sure I had everything. I had a lot of fun as a child, to be honest with you.
That's great.
And the only sad thing is, as an adult, I don't see children having that kind of fun anymore.
That you would have had?
Yes.
Okay. So your teenage years were also good?
Yes, they were. I had a good amount of good friends. They're not around right now, sadly.
Oh, okay.
But I had a lot of friends that weren't gang members when we were kids. You understand? And they ain't around now.
So they've all passed?
Most of them.
Oh, wow. That's really
Out of,
sad.
say, 25 of us that used to hang out, only 6 of us alive.
That is
And
a
that's
lot.
before the gang started, And I think that's a problem we have in this country. We don't recognize the kind of pain caused on our young men to lose their friends at such an age.
Understand. Well, you would have had a good life. And I know after that, somewhere along the line, you would have incurred some challenges. I mean, why were you imprisoned? What changed this good life for you?
Being imprisoned, I would say, right? I have a family member that has a very bad reputation. And as I was raised, he lost his home. The circumstances were that it seemed like it was a gang and police coalition that burned his house down. Me knowing this, and he being my family, I take it upon myself, and I give him shelter and I give him food. And I think that's where the problem occurred. Now, we could say you are guilty by association, but how come the Constitution gives us freedom of association and assembly? So why should you then try to lock me up because I'm trying to help a brother out of a squad? You understand? I have no criminal record. I don't get in problems with people. But the sole problem was that they were trying to eliminate this young man. You understand? And I just happened to come along for the ride.
So I can't imagine, how did you feel when police arrived at your home and handcuffed you and said to you, you are being arrested for murder?
Murder. For the first 10 minutes, I'm like, man, he making joke. Maybe he just want to search because of the repertoire of my cousin, right? But then it started to get serious when you see the rest of the 5 guys going in and, tumbling up your things. Everybody's happening for you. Murder who? I asked the officer, who are murder? Who it is a kill? You understand? If you're going to charge a man for murder and he asking you who it is dead, I mean, come on, man.
That must have been tough.
Exactly. Not only that, this is the first time I've been formally charged and arrested by our authorities. And their work ethic is poor. I mean, they were having conversations about sex, conversations about this, conversations about that, even the police work, and they're not answering my questions. Nobody come and show me a formal warrant at my home. You understand?
So they just arrested
Just lock me up and tell me, well, you're going for a ride for a while, you ain't gonna see it for a while.
So you had a court hearing shortly after that? Or?
No. I think they had me in there for 4 days before they charged me. And then I went before a magistrate. And the magistrate remanded me to prison formally.
So how long were you in prison?
3 years, 2 months and 4 days.
3 years, 2 months and 4 days.
Yes.
And you weren't convicted, you were just charged.
Yes.
Wow.
They knew they couldn't convict me neither, because I made no crime. Imagine people know this, They know this and they still pursue it. In the name of what?
So we're now at your life in prison. What was life in prison like? What hardship did you incur while you were in prison?
In prison, I, if hell was on earth, in name Her Majesty's prison. And I tell you why I say this. You as a man, clueless to what is going on, illegally, but you have to go through it. So you walk in a gate, and they tell you, well, um, here's a cup, here's a bowl, here's a blanket, not a thing else. So my
That's
family
it.
got to buy me toothpaste, toilet paper, soap, shampoo. Me not walk nowhere, but I have to spend money to buy things. That's my first problem. Because the prison rule clearly states that they're supposed to provide all my necessities. That's a violation on a whole to me, even as a remander. Because I have not been convicted of any crime. Good. Second of all, sleeping on the floor.
You slept on the floor.
I had to do that for a year at one point in time, and then back to it another 6 months ago.
Well, they don't have beds.
They don't have enough beds. There's not enough room in there. The first cell that I stayed in, right, had 26 of us in there.
26
8
men?
bunks. Now a bunk has 2 men. So a man on the top, a man on the bottom. Where the next 9 will be?
Wow.
I slept underneath a bunk. Not too far from the toilet. I used to get wet every night when everybody don't use the bathroom and they shaking their hand coming to the hall. You understand? And it's not a clean place. There's no ventilation where it was. There's a big iron door, a shaft, a little slatch, some windows with some things blocking out the ventilation. You understand? So you in the middle of the night, you just have to stay in your box and sweat and let the mosquitoes feed. Because there's not a thing else you could do. We complain about it. Hey, give me some half now. Give me a little bit. But it's a little spray and
That's it? No.
yeah. At one point in time, remember, I went to the authorities and told them, I'm allergic to sulfur. These are my medical record. You understand? If you go to the doctor and you ask them. So, the building itself is made out of headstone and lime. One of the main ingredients is sulfur. So when the flakes flake off and drop on my bed, I can brush off what I could see. What about what I can't see? So when I lay down on it now, I get sores on my chest. Now here am I going to a head officer in the prison and saying, well, this is affecting me. You understand? It is on my medical record. Can you help me? Move.
So you just stayed there and your skin was
I
just...
couldn't do anything, yeah.
So you just barely off of
I'm
its
still
own.
recovering from it till today. You understand?
That's a lot to digest.
Yes, it is. People would say, right, if you do the crime, you could do the time. I can't really contest that. And some people are willfully just want to be on that side of the world. You understand? But if we want things to change on the outside, we got to responsibly punish these gentlemen and not torture them. You understand? We're creating animals, so to speak. You take an angry man off the road already. He done angry. He done lose his family members, his support, his gang family, whoever gets shot down, however. You put him in a place. I mean, you're in total control because he can't do nothing. And you still torture him.
I guess you could look at it, 2 ways. I mean, people do crime, they commit murders. They should pay for it, because somebody's out there hurting,
Yes.
So in a sense, people see it 2 ways. In terms of like if somebody is being in prison and they have to come back out in the general public, then there is a way I think they need to have some sort of
Interesting enough you
responsibility.
brought that up, right? Because that was going to be my next thing to touch on. Remember one day I was in the yard and I asked the officer a question. I was like, tell me something. What do you think is the purpose of your job? And he told me, security, care, control, and custody. I told him, I think you're wrong. I think it's protection of the general public. You understand? So let's look into this thing about protection of the general public. When you bring young men in here and you infuriate them more than they're already infuriated, unnecessarily, because a lot of the things that happen in there don't have to happen, you know. I don't experience this for myself. I don't wake up and the officer dead in my face screaming at me and I don't know why it is going on. I just wake up. But he just rah, rah, rah. If I was a different person, it might have been a fight. You understand? But then, you know, you're messing up people. You're messing up people.
And then we're releasing them back into
the it's like I told him, okay, you take a young man, you mess him up, you put him in the dark, you take away everything from him, then you release him. Sometimes the man innocent to boot, you don't even give him an apology. You understand? What you think you're doing?
Like in your case.
What you think you're doing? Well, luckily for me, right? My heart and mind exist in a different realm. That ain't really gonna be my focus of where I want my life to be. It's a terrible experience. I wish to put it behind me. There are people still there suffering. I wish for it to stop. That's why I speak. But on a whole, it is a place where we could reach these men. Because they're at a point where they have nothing but time to think. You understand? He might be aggressive and think today, but give him a few days, let him cool down. Something probably going on with him. As an officer, you could sit down and reason with him and show him, well, that is not the way. You understand? I know a lot of young men, let's say for instance, a young man in there named Antoine Thompson. I big him up, big up the drug hero, yeah? This man turned himself around, you know. He was, I think, convicted for murder as a juvenile. And he was murdered with a gun, you know. Murdered with some machete. Check it out. So he's a young man now who, at a young age, he got stripes. He done a done. You can't tell he nothing when he walked to the jail yard. I was saying, hey, matter, you put me in lockdown, you're going to pull me out sometime. So what? You must got to feed me. I do in life. Why should I behave? What incentive is there for me to be good? You treat me like a dog, you feed me like a dog, I might as well back. But this young man now, are you sure by now he got more subjects than me? You understand? Speaks Spanish fluently. He's one of them that achieved the highest mark in Spanish and he's self-taught. What is the difference between him and another young man on the road? This is my question. We look at these fellas as they're young. But they also got people around them in the community who are not committing these crimes. You understand? You might have 5 fellas in a school doing stupidness. But then you got 15 who are not doing it. How come these 15 here could walk the same path and not do that? What is affecting them in their life that they got to bend so and twist so?
So it's a case where we have to get to the
we gotta investigate that for ourselves. It is our problem. It don't belong to nobody else. You can't bring no specialist from America to tell us about Nevis. He don't even know what coconut tree look like. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, we would have highlighted some of the issues that, we have in prison. We will take a short break, and when we come back, we will discuss certain positive things that you can get out of prison, like you would have mentioned the classes and so forth for CXC. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back. We are here on You Think. I'm your host, Latoya Jones, and we're here with Mr. Omari Nisbett. Now, Omari, tell us how you would have survived, this ordeal, not just physically, but emotionally.
Well, it's a painful experience to be taken away from your freedom. You understand? And how I did that, I had to put my focus to something else. Knowing that you're innocent and you're going through them kind of things, it'll be really frustrating. Because you're telling yourself every morning when you wake up, why am I here? But you're still here. So you're either going to cry about it or you're going to do something about it. I then put my energy into something positive. I didn't know I could sing before I went to prison. I just used to go to karaoke and party and have fun. Everybody got in the alcohol. So,
So you
when
realize,
people tell you you're so good, it's like,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
you're just drunk, it matter.
so you realize you had a skill
Yes.
when you entered prison.
Not only that, it was a place where I could push pain without hurting anybody else. You know? Sometimes when I sing a certain song and it touch me like that, yeah, man, I just release all that energy. When I go back to myself, I just want to bathe and sleep. Me want no argument with nobody.
Keeps you calm.
Yeah, exactly. I understand.
So what else did you do beside being in the band?
Well, thanks to Mr. Dan McMillan, he instituted anger management classes. And that, I think, really helped not only me, but many young men in there to actually realize who they are. That sometimes even the simplest of conversations could lead to a wrong turn just by the energy you put out to somebody else. You know? Conflict resolution is something that is very good in there. Because people talk a lot. When you're trapped in a cell with a man for 20 hours, that's a whole lot of talking, you know. But sometimes it could turn into argument. But if you know how to keep the reasoning on a respectable level, and you know, you enjoy yourself.
Yeah. And you address the underlying issues that many of us fail to even
Yes.
acknowledge. You know, we tend to think too much when it is something simple.
Yes.
I remember when we spoke before, you were telling me of a situation when a question was asked pertaining to how many of the young men fathers ever told them that they love them. I think you should share that with the general
Yeah, it
public.
was one day, Dan was having a discussion with the group. It was about 30 of us. Inside a small room, about 30 of us, you know. And he asked a question. How many of y'all fathers ever told y'all that he loved you? That's only about 3 of us could have put up our hands.
3 out of 30.
3 out of 30. I saw some
That's
fellas
really
there sitting
sad.
down there, right? And they watching me say, my hold on. I just there thinking to see if this man really ever tell me them 3 words. That is disgraceful. You can't have raise young men in a society and expect them to walk straight and they don't even know that you love them.
That's really sad.
Yeah, it is.
That makes you think a lot, and it
Yes.
makes you, you know, you should be grateful for what you
Yeah,
came up
man.
with.
Yeah, man. That's why I don't scorn them. Because I understand where they came from. I am not one to say, well, you're doing stupidness, so keep doing it because me and you're good. No. If I am your friend, I should be able to tell you that you're wrong.
Yes,
And if I am wrong, you should do the same.
I agree.
You understand? But at the end of the day, we're both human beings no matter what we do. So I could choose to scorn you and make you my enemy. I could choose to have you at a certain level where when I see you, may you have a positive conversation. And I know, even though you might be angry, something negative just escaped your mind because you had to make room for the positive.
Positive.
And I think that's how we should try to approach our youngsters more.
Spread
You
positivity.
can walk up on a man and tell him he disgusting. He got feelings. Young man, how you doing? You do something positive for the day. You, I don't know, how you doing in school? You know, just something, because a lot of our young people, they don't know how to communicate anymore. You know, just the other night I was at a spot and I was trying to tell a young man, please don't turn down the people and music. He getting irritated. Well, boss man, you could have tell me. I ain't raised my voice. It's just that. He feel he doing what he's supposed to do and nobody's supposed to tell him nothing. And that's a problem we have, a serious problem. I think, right, personally, we can rehabilitate our young men, give them skills, this and that. But if we don't teach them ethic, work ethic, proper moral, these kind of things, they're going to be taught, you know, because some of them really do not know. You understand? How you going to release a man into a work role if he ain't ready? I ain't going to hire you unless you're ready. You understand? And it's a commitment they too have to make to society. Hey, well, I want to walk this path, certain things I'm going to do. You understand? A lot of young men are afraid to move more positive because they're not going to be safe. I have safety in my group. You understand? He watching my back, he watching his back. It's the whole circle. When I leave this circle now and I come out to you, are you going to take care of me? In reality, do I want to lose my life because I want to do something positive to impress you? Is my life worth less than what you think?
It's a lot of things
Yeah,
we have to think
this
about,
is the reality of the situation. They have a problem. You understand?
and they need help.
They need help. Please help them. I can't put it in no other term. I can't make it fancy. I'm gonna say, please help them.
Well, I think them going to when they go to prison and these rehabilitation programs that they offer, hopefully it would assist them. If it's a case where the police division can offer more, then that would be really good, as they are coming back out into the community, and we need to make sure that these people are trying to change
Yes.
and not coming back out worse than when they went in.
Yes. Yes.
So
I think that would help to decrease some of these things.
I think we all want to know about your court hearing. So tell us about that day that you were finally a free man at last. Tell us about your court hearing.
Yes. Now, I would speak about my preliminary, because the preliminary inquiry is what really led to what happened in the High Court. In the preliminary inquiry, remember the what they call it, virtual complainant, stood on the stand and pointed at me and said, I do not know this man before today in court. I've never seen him before, I don't know who he is. Mine, I'm standing trial for murder. Here is the surviving witness. He points on me and he says, I have never seen this man a day before in my life before today in court.
Really?
Hold on. And you still take me to High Court. So this happened within 6 months of my arrest. I could have been released. But I was indicted in the law court after no evidence. Okay, leave it there. Man, the journey I'm treading. Okay. You don't do it. Let's go. When I get to High Court, I remember somebody whispered in my ear, I think the prosecution doesn't want to carry on the case with you anymore. So okay, that would be fine, but I don't been here for so long. You mean you make me come upstairs just to tell me that you couldn't lose me long time if I'm in the prison? But that's not how the system works. That's just my emotional feeling. Good. Okay. When I walk into court, they change their mind. They don't want to drop the matter. They want to pursue it. No problem. Use the bus. You do what you want. I can't go nowhere.
Yeah.
Inside that courtroom, I witnessed the DPP, not a regular prosecutor. This is the man who is in charge of. Asked the police to leave the courtroom. He wants nothing furthermore to do with them after they finish with the stand. It is public information. You think I'm lying? Go down and ask them for a transcript. You see the kind of nonsense they were talking. People come in my yard without warrant. And he wasn't in hot pursuit. So, why you going in the man yard? You ain't in hot pursuit, you don't have a warrant. Why you doing in the man yard? So if the basis of the warrant to arrest me was illegal, what happened to the rest of the matter? If you start wrong, you end wrong, ain't it? Okay. Now this is a next thing that irritated me in the courthouse. I'm here there's a gentleman beside me, another gentleman beside me. And the DP is only directing his questions at them. So, if he asks a question about somebody, he asking about one of my joint leads, or he asking about the next joint lead. No time at all, nobody point on this one here. I'm just like a spectator. You understand? And that was very irritating. Until it got to the point where the judge stood up and stopped the case. Ordered a direct verdict that the jury have to bring us in not guilty. Now, you know me, after 3 years and months, and many sensible people, that have to take place. So what happened to my life now?
Where do you go?
Where are you going to start again? When I come out, I walked in my house that my mother and my father built for me as a baby. You understand? Where's all my things dilapidated? Things gone missing, people done breaking, gone with all my stuff. I come out of prison with a bag of clothes. Me no do no crime. But I sure did sometime. Another thing that is very appalling too, and I challenge anybody in general public to do it. Google my name, Omari Nisbett, and then tell me what you read.
Can't get rid of it.
No.
It's there.
You're telling me
forever.
about you find some gun in my house, some license firearm, I'm charged for murder, more charges will be laid. You make me look like I'm some kind of super criminal. You understand? Up to now, me, I don't even know the dude who dead and the other one that lived. The other one that lived, I even taught him music in jail. 'Cause I don't know the dude. I would like to get to know him. I want to know why you think I killed your brother. Are you?
Give me chills.
Yeah, but that is life, and it's only made me a stronger person.
Yeah.
I would encourage any young man, don't let your frustration lead you. Let your soul lead you. You understand?
Good advice. So let us talk about, after prison. Where are you now?
After prison, it was quite funny actually, because when you go to jail, you don't go to jail by yourself, and that's what I realized. I realized it's almost like my whole community, those who love me, my family. It's almost like they were in there with me. They were so happy to see me. When people come visit me, I've seen people shed tears while I'm in there watching them, and me should be the one crying.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? It was another thing that was funny was people tell me, "Oh, hope you're gonna behave yourself this time, Don't get yourself in no more trouble." So I could take the ignorant up and like, woman, I didn't do nothing. What she was telling me? I could say, people always tell me that. But one thing I would like people to do is ask the authorities, why am I released? Why am I free? This is a murder charge. This ain't no joke,
I know.
This is not
it's a big thing.
no thief, out of nothing. The penalty on the books for murder, the last time I checked, is death. So when you think you just release a man from something like that, and such a mental strain, like I could have lost my life, and me not kill nobody, and he would have gone down legally. How you compensate me for that? What is the price of my life?
So,
Yeah.
based on people approaching you and stuff, would you say that society forgave you? Did they give you a second chance?
First of all, I did nothing to need forgiveness. I did no crime. If people feel, well, I had something to do with it, I apologize to you, but not this one. You understand? And society on a whole hasn't put that much pressure on me because a lot of them know the truth. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
They know I am not a man like that. I don't get myself involved in them kind of things. You understand? So, forgiveness, I'm not too sure I'm concerned about it. When you're guilty, you want forgiveness. When you ain't guilty, it's like, okay, I understand how you feel because of what was said. But if you look into the truth of the matter, you'll see that really I deserve the apology. I'm not gonna push that on you.
Mm-hmm. So you're just going on with your life?
Yes, I have no choice.
Yeah,
Nobody else gonna feed me.
That's true.
Nobody else is responsible for me and my actions but me.
So what do you do now?
Well, I got a little job at Value Mart. I'm a porter there, trying to build back myself. That's all I could do for now.
And encourage our youth to do better.
Yes.
That's a good thing.
Yes.
That's really a good thing. Now, what advice would you, give to our youth after experiencing this ordeal and, going from a good life to this such a challenging time? What would you say to them?
I would say to the youth, right? We ought to give up the mentality that we think we know everything. That is the main problem. Nobody want to listen to anybody. Nobody want to discuss everybody. Everybody feel they're right. I feel more that, because I like to learn around older people who could teach me something. And if people try to, incorporate that in their life as youngsters, because we don't even know half of it.
Mm-hmm.
If we had control of our own life at 19 years old, we'd destroy the world.
That's true.
Because our actions are controlled by our thoughts. Our thoughts controlled by our emotions. Now, if our emotions are stimulated by things that we get upset about. And we get upset about everything. We blow up the world. So we need elders to show us the right path.
Yes.
You know, everything they say we ain't gonna agree. But what's wrong with sitting down with an old man and say, I don't agree with you. We're gonna talk about this. Have a beer, you have a beer, and we chat.
We reason.
Yeah? But instead, you're going in somebody's house, go break them. You and the old man sit on there chat for hours. Well, you know, he might pull out a $50. Say, sonny, just go home and enjoy yourself. Yeah. That happened to me plenty of times. People I don't know, I sit down, I converse when they're done. But wait, you wasn't the man who was singing in the prison band. Yeah. Man, here, hold this man. Like, what you give me money for? I don't know you. He's like, I know you're going through a little hardship, so just...
Here's a helping
you know?
hand.
There are people in this world that care, especially in our country. We might not all know how to show it to a level where people feel it. Because life is cold. Everybody got to survive. And you never know what man going through daily, yeah? But at the same time, sometimes we got to not think about ourselves so much and look in our surrounding and say, hey man, how y'all doing?
This interview was a very hard interview for me to do. It was rather heartbreaking and tragic. And I really do hope that none of our young men, women, or anyone in society would have to go through something that Omari went through. Regardless of the circumstances, I do believe that Omari deserves a second chance. Thank you for viewing. I am your host, Latoya Jones, and tune in to next week's edition.